Welcome, and thank you for joining us for Spoleto Festival USA's Gala XLV, celebrating Nigel Redden's legacy. And now, your host for the evening, Anthony Roth Costanzo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And I just have to take a moment, a personal note here, to say that almost 20 years ago, particularly this month in May, I was making my debut at the Spoleto Festival. I was 19 years old, and the person we are honoring tonight, he kind of discovered me and set me on the path of opera. This was one of my first professional operatic engagements, so I have a personal connection to tonight and feel particularly indebted to this man. But enough about me. Tonight is a celebration of 35 years of incredible festivals under the leadership and artistic vision of General Director Nigel Redden, who retires later this year. No, we don't want you to go. We have a full evening ahead of us as we look back and we honor Nigel's impact on the performing arts community in Charleston and beyond. We will be hearing from Nigel's colleagues and some familiar festival faces along the way, as well as some incredible performances by Heather Buck, Carlo Colla and Sons Marionette Company, Bill T. Jones, Ayodele Casel, Laurie Anderson, Rhiannon Giddens. I mean, how can it get any better than that? But if that's not enough, the man himself, Nigel Redden, will be joining us a little later this evening. So before we get started, I want to just take a moment to thank our incredibly generous sponsors for their support. This evening would not be possible without their unwavering dedication to the festival, especially during the challenges of this past year. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Spoleto Festival USA's board president, Alicia Gregory.
Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined us this evening to celebrate. I'm Alicia Gregory and board president of Spoleto Festival USA. Even though we've gathered virtually, we're united in our desire to celebrate Nigel's extraordinary legacy. Over the last 35 years, Nigel Redden has been the driving force behind Spoleto Festival USA's world-renowned success. In 1968, as a young college student, Nigel began his career as an apprentice at the Festival of Two Worlds. This marked the beginning of a brilliant career from Santa Fe to the National Endowment for the Arts to the Lincoln Center Festival. He has enamored audiences and artists alike with his artistic genius. He has a stunning range and ability to work with all genres from opera to dance, theater, chamber music, marionettes, and Foley artists. Artistic accomplishments aside, Nigel's astute business expertise has enormously benefited the festival's financial well-being. His steadfast love of Spoleto is perhaps only surpassed by his extraordinary commitment to young and emerging artists who often find their first big breaks on our stages. Under his direction, these young artists have the opportunity to work with leading conductors, directors, set designers, and performers. The festival owes much of its success to Nigel's keen eye for such talent and his ability to support these young artists and channel their visions into stunning works. In honor of Nigel, the festival's board of directors has established the Nigel Redden Emerging Artist Endowment Fund. This will ensure his unmatched dedication to young performing artists and newly commissioned works will continue for many years to come. Additionally, this endowed fund will allow Nigel's successor to invite up-and-coming performing artists to take part in the festival each season. His successor will be given the chance to make their own mark on the festival and the careers of young artists, much in the way Nigel has done during his tenure. This evening or the next time you're on your computer, please consider contributing to this cause in honor of Nigel and his legacy. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of tonight's celebration. Up next, we have a performance from acclaimed vocalist Heather Buck.
Schönes Land. Hi, Nigel. I'm so sorry that we can't be in the same room together. I'd love to give you a hug at your celebration. And I want to thank you so much for the expansiveness of your vision and your fearless adventurousness and the way that you've included so many people, both as artists and also audiences all over the world. You've given so much to the world. And I'm very, very grateful that you believed in me and my work over all these years. We've had so much fun together, we've laughed together. I really remember so many wonderful times with you. And I'm hoping that this time in your life that you will have some peace and quiet and that you will have a very fulfilling time in the new Albergo Redden. I send so much love to you, Nigel. Bye.
Hi, Nigel. It's Steve Reich. I'm just sending thanks to you on my behalf and on Beryl's behalf as well for all the help that you gave us several years ago. First with The Cave, the first video opera, and then Three Tales, a second one, quite different, down in Charleston. And there were a lot of musicians and a lot of technicians and a lot of video equipment. And it all came together and it all worked, and a lot of thanks to you for making that possible. So I want to thank you again and wish you all success and good things in the future. Thank you.
Hi, Nigel. Just like to add my thanks to Steve's message to you for supporting The Cave and Three Tales, especially two projects that at the time they were first presented demanded so much technology that was so unusual at that time. So many screens of video and a huge crew. It was a wonderful time, great Spoleto Southern hospitality, and wishing you all the best for the road ahead. Bye.
Hello, my name is Chen Shizhen. I met Nigel in 1998 when he came to Shanghai to rescue my production, Piano Pavilion, for Lincoln Center Festival. Ever since, Nigel became a dear friend, supporter, and my mentor. Through all these years, he has encouraged me and countless artists to do their best to create interesting artworks. I'm here to say thank you to Nigel for his vision and his passion for his love of art. You will be sorely missed, dear Nigel. Thank you very much.
Well, Nigel, it really doesn't get better than that, does it?
I must say, I'm overwhelmed by that. I put on the suit not knowing that I was going to be.
Well, I've always thought that you were the one pulling the strings. And so I get to present you with this incredible marionette of you, as you can see. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, that is
its gestures are
wonderful.
almost operatic. So
And
you
they've
really
even got my shoes.
I know, it's to a T. I'm seeing double. But thank you, and the floor is yours.
Well, all I can say is that this is really overwhelming. I mean, it's been so wonderful to hear what people have said, but it's been so wonderful to do the festival for all these years. It's been an opportunity to bring the work of friends to the stage, to make new friends, to see work that I've been curious about, to actually just discover things. And that, I think, has been the best gift of all. It's just been a privilege to have this opportunity in Charleston, where the audience is so ready to see different things, and people are ready to go from chamber music to dance to opera to theater and to marionettes. I think it's just delightful.
And you've not only nurtured the audience and changed the audience there, but you've nurtured the artists. I feel seeing the marionettes even over all these years, you've taught us all something in our time at Spoleto.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. I mean, I think you've taught me more than I've taught you, but
No.
I just feel grateful that people want to come to the festival, and I'm really grateful for the fact that people keep coming back, and you've come back a fair number of times.
I think I lost count, 8 or 9 years, but I have to thank you for everything you've done. It means the world to us. And now we get to hear some more thanks from one of your dear friends and one of the festival's dear friends. Here is Bill T. Jones.
Good evening. It's a great joy and a pleasure to be part of this very special celebration of the Spoleto Festival and its gala. Time passes, and we have just come from a remarkable period of reflection and isolation, and yet we're still here, cultural warriors all, and I'm grateful to be with you. I'd like to turn my remarks now to my dear friend, Nigel Redden. Nigel, I'm going to paraphrase something I remember Kurt Vonnegut saying to a group of graduating, were they college students? He said, stay true to your oldest friends. They are the only ones who will remember you when you were young. A bit ominous, isn't it? But there's something there when I think about you and me and our journey of friendship. Remember when you were the curator of performance at the Walker Arts Center? I remember you in your little car trundling me, the visiting artist, from one engagement to another through the streets of Minneapolis. Those streets have become notorious and famous for a lot of reasons these days. The countryside, why were you out there? Oh, the airport, back and forth to the airport. And conversations that we had and conversations that we could not have then, but we did over the years. I remember when you left the Walker and you went to the National Endowment. You were one of the program officers, and I was often invited to be on those panels, those kind of bloody battlefields of cultural priorities and decision making. You were always professional. And I remember a curious thing, when we would take our lunch break, everyone else would get into the elevator, I think, weren't we in the 12th floor or something, and go out to get the sandwiches or whatever. But Nigel, you would run down the stairs, and I think running back up. I don't know if you told me or someone told me this was your way of staying in shape. And you were in good shape on every level. And of course, there was Spoleto. All eyes were on you when you left New York and decided to steward this very important festival in the South, in the South of the imagination, in the troubled South, in the South that was saying, we want culture and we want to have the best. And they chose you, Nigel, and I was always impressed. Thank you for presenting works like Absence and D-Man in the Waters. Thank you for works like Blind Date. Thank you for my solo show. I remember one night I was about to do that solo show there in Charleston, and I had such a bad back that I literally could not stand, and the show was in a few hours. Somebody, you somehow, that provided me with a body worker that did some magic, and ta-da, the curtain opened, and there I was. Touch and go, just the way we like it, right, my friend? Your style, you were a dresser. You were like a European man, but with a difference. That accent, that plummy accent that spoke of culture and privilege, but when you dug down into it, you saw there was a thinker and a person deeply involved in the world, in a way, of the everyman, because you were there as a cultural warrior. There was something about your worldview that I still admire to this day. Yes, you have your snobism, you have your professional hat, you have your personal hat, but I believe that you have something which I would call the religion about culture, its deepest meanings, and who the participants are. And yes, friendship. That has been the greatest reward in knowing you all these years, my friend, is that you actually are a loyal friend. And you have been to me as an artist and as a man. And for that, I love you. And I say, job well done. May you continue following your heart and doing everything that this world has in store for you that is necessary. Big kiss and embrace, my dear friend Nigel Redden, from me, Bill T. Jones.
Nigel, Ayodele Casel here. Here not in Spoleto, which is where I wish I was right now, but in Teaneck, New Jersey. So I'm giving you some trees to sort of emulate the experience somewhat. But I'm just really thankful to be able to have this opportunity to express my gratitude to you. I have here my program book from my 2017 debut, While I Have the Floor. And I just want to say that I don't know if words can really sort of accurately describe how much being able to be part of that festival that you're meant to be. I will tell you that for a good 14, 15 years of my creative life, artistic life and career, I felt very stifled, and I felt fearful of putting myself out there, putting my thoughts out there, putting my work out there. And in 2016, when you saw me, I think at a Fall for Dance, do that 7-minute While I Have the Floor, and then extended the invitation so graciously for me to create a full piece, it just opened me up in a really profound way. I will say that I needed that. I needed it at that time. I needed someone to see me and to encourage that and to believe that I could do it and that I could carry a week as a solo artist. And that is exactly what I was able to do at the Wolf Street Playhouse. And it has been a super liberating experience for me as a human being and as an artist. And I will tell you that after that year, I said to myself that I would no longer ever doubt my impulses, that I would never doubt my impulses to share my heart, to share my art with people. And that was largely because of your team and the way you invited me in. And also, I remember saying that I was the ticket of that year. I'm sure everybody else, maybe you were just saying that, but but anyway, it was just such a wonderful, wonderful experience. So I just want to say thank you again. I'm just so grateful, and I am so excited for what you're going to do next. You know what? And even if that's just sitting on a hammock. But thank you again. And just to show my gratitude, I have some shuffles for you. Okay. I'm going to take my glasses off. My superhero. Thank you, Nigel.
Wow, is there anyone else like Ayodele Casel? I always say she's kind of like a composer. Do you know what I mean? There is so much joy in the rhythmic invention that she brings to everything she does. It has already been an incredible evening, and we're only at the halfway point. I think this is maybe the perfect opportunity to take a moment and recognize those who have already pledged their support to the Nigel Redden Emerging Artists Endowment Fund, the one that Alicia Gregory introduced earlier. Nigel's legacy isn't only about the great art he created, it's also about the young artists like I once was that he championed. In addition to the gifts being made tonight and throughout the festival on this site, we want to thank the individuals who have already committed to ensuring this legacy is carried on by his successor for many seasons to come. And let me just tell you that that means the world to this whole community of artists, which I am proud to be part of. And with that, let's head into our last segment. Now, there's nothing I can say here, but ladies and gentlemen, the iconic Laurie Anderson.
Hi, Laurie Anderson here. First of all, I'd like to thank Nigel for being the greatest friend for so many decades. It's meant so much to me to work with him, kind of through thick and thin. Now, fortunately for me, Nigel has a truly great sense of humor, so we made it through some crazy situations. Now, in 1999, I launched an opera about Moby Dick in Spoleto, and let's say not every idea pans out the way you hope. So, I had read Moby Dick many times, and I decided to write an opera based on the book. And let me say, if you're planning to write an opera based on your favorite book, stop right now, because if you really love the book, you don't want to wreck it. And you might be just too respectful, have the white gloves on. And with something like this, you have to be a lot kind of rougher. Now, I made this mistake a second time when I fell in love with Gravity's Rainbow. And this time, I wrote to Thomas Pynchon and I said, I really love your book, and could you possibly allow me to make an opera based on it? Now, Pynchon is a kind of a famous recluse, so I didn't actually think I would ever hear from him, but I got a letter, and it said, "I love your music, and of course, I'd be happy if you made an opera based on my book, and I have only one condition, and that is that the entire opera be scored for solo banjo." Now, some people have the nicest way of saying, "No, no, 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 not over my dead body. Will you make an opera based on my book?" Anyway, one of the things I love about Moby Dick is the jump cuts. You might remember the way Moby Dick starts. It starts with a guy named Ishmael, and he says, "You know what I'm thinking of doing? I'm thinking of going to sea. And if I went to sea, what would I do?" He said, "Well, I could be a captain. But no, I hate bossing people around. How about first mate? Nah, I don't like taking orders. Hey, how about a cook? I mean, I love roast chicken, and really, who doesn't love roast chicken? The Egyptians liked roast chicken. You can tell by the mummies of their chicken and roasted ibis and roasted river horse, and you can see the mummies of all those creatures in their giant bakehouses, the pyramids. And okay, we're on page 3. How do we get from Nantucket to ancient Egypt in just 3 pages? And what exactly is a roasted river horse? Thank you.
Hi, this is Stephen Colbert.
Hi, Nigel. This is Evie McGee Colbert.
And we just wanted to say congratulations on 35 years of leading the Spoleto Festival USA.
Incredible accomplishment.
And Charleston is better for it, and the artistic community around the world is better for your leadership.
And we're better for it.
We are, because we met at an early production in your tenure there, the Hydrogen Jukebox at the Satilli Theater. My sister couldn't go, so I went with my mom, and you got your father didn't go or something like
right.
that.
I also got roped in.
And I saw this beautiful woman across the lobby, and now we're married. Thanks for that.
Listen, Charleston's going to miss you, but we're up here in New York. Come on up.
We'll make you some shrimp and grits.
Yeah. Congratulations, Nigel.
Nigel, my dear friend, warmest greetings from Dublin. Sadly, not from the Gate Theatre, which has been closed now for over a year, but from my leafy home here in Waterloo Road, a place that became your Irish home from home. First up, Nigel, I have to say that I was really surprised that you were old enough to retire. I mean, you look so young, so well preserved. I put it down to your lifelong passion for kickboxing and hip-hop dancing, so well done to you. But then, Nigel, when I heard of your actual age, I was truly shocked. All the time I've been working with you, I really believed you were closer, much closer to my age. I mean, years younger. Anyway, well done to you, sir. Despite the age difference, Nigel, we've had one hell of a ride together. I'll be forever grateful to you for that day you turned up and persuaded me to bring Salome to Spoleto. I gave in to your silken charms, Nigel, and I've been doing it ever since. And who wouldn't? You are the consummate persuader. You are the purveyor of the best of good taste. And you are the embodiment of effortless ease. You're also, let me remind everybody, a bit of a whiz on the skateboard. What larks, Nigel? 10 more productions followed at Charleston. And then we went on, we did 19 Beckett plays in 3 weeks. Then more festivals by Pinter, and festivals by Friel. And every single one of them complicated. And yet each venture, the best of fun. Put simply, Nigel, you are the best producer I have ever worked with. And I am so grateful to you for all the advice you have given me and for all I have learned from you. And now it's my turn to give advice. I'm going to give the advice I gave to you last July on, believe it or not, my 70th birthday, when I said to you, Nigel, go to your garden, continue to build those beautiful stone walls, read those neglected books, and be forever aware and forever grateful for the rich career you've had that has allowed you to give so much to so many. A bientôt, my friend. Enjoy the night. You totally deserve it.
First impressions matter. One night in 1998, I was approached after a performance of my most recent production by a dapper gentleman who said, I like your play, and I'd like to bring it to the Spoleto Festival next year. Great. I didn't believe him. When they sign the contract, when the money arrives, it's a big show. There were many complications to be worked out. But in the end, it was all true. And that's Nigel Redden. And in 1999, we brought Mamba's Daughters to the Spoleto Festival in Charleston. For me, that was only the beginning of many years of work at the festival. Big plays, small plays, opera, cabaret, right up to the 2019 festival, which I think was the last time we all gathered. Spoleto has been an important home for me and my work for decades. I'm telling you this story for two reasons. Personally, I feel a responsibility to the man who has supported me so generously and so beautifully to share my admiration and my thanks and my love. But I also know that hundreds and hundreds of artists have enjoyed the same experience that I have had. And I know that thousands and thousands of people who live in and around Charleston all year have benefited from that work and enjoyed their own growth because of it. And the vibrant and beautiful city of Charleston as a cultural center has had an impact on hundreds of thousands of people all around the globe. Nigel Redden supports us, and we make our work. Nigel's work changes the world. Thank you, Nigel.
Nigel, I'm delighted to be able to take this opportunity to wish you well on your retirement from the festival. I've always said that I think the Spoleto Festival is one of the world's great festivals. And I am able to say that having visited it in different guises over the years, as an audience member, as director of Drew Theatre Company, and on one occasion when you asked me to direct one of the operas for the festival. There are many reasons and much work that goes into making this a great festival, but at the centre of it is you. Indeed, on one of my first visits to the festival, I actually thought that the cream and brown Rolls Royce was possibly part of some performance art company you had brought in for the day, only to be told that it was you and to have you wave at me from behind the wheel. I hope you have the most successful and enjoyable of retirements. I look forward to continuing our friendship, and I want to wish the festival and everybody there best of luck for the future. Thank you.
Hi Nigel. On behalf of the Drew Company, on behalf of all the actors and all the crew, we want to say congratulations and wish you all the very best for the future. And thank you for having us over so often. The last time we were over, we were doing this. And even though none of us got to have a ride in your fabulous car, we had the most fantastic time, and it's always been a pleasure working with you. And we wish you the most fantastic time for the future. When we're able to travel again, when we're able to do theatre again, we know we'll be seeing you soon. Take care till then.
Nigel, you should know that I hate taping myself with the heat of 1,000 suns. So there's very few people that I would be doing this for, and you are definitely among that very small number. I respect so much what you've done with the Spoleto Festival, your sense of artistry, your sense of just open-mindedness and willingness to have other voices at the table. The opportunity that you gave me and Michael to tell Omar's story the way that we wanted to tell it, and the way that you and Cole and everybody at Spoleto has been so supportive of Omar. And it's just been what I think an experience like this should be, which is pretty rare these days. So I wish you the best of luck in your next stage, and you will be missed. I know you will be missed, but you got to do the next thing for you. And I'm just very excited to see whatever that is, and for you to have a moment, to yourself. I'm sure you're looking forward to that too. So even though maybe you had enough of that this past year, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do my best to play Omar's aria for you. The words are over here, so I apologize, but that's what I can, it's how I can rig this up. I don't have a professional setup. This is literally a microphone hanging out in another microphone casing. Like if I touch it, it falls over. So anyway, I'm doing the best I can here. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to make the effort because just to let you know how much I esteem and just respect the hell out of you. So yeah, that's it. And we'll see you in person. I know it. Someday soon. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, He leadeth me beside the still waters. Still waters, deep waters. came here against my will, terrified, caught in the crook in the path, in that unseen crook in the path. If you could see me, you would laugh, Mother. Well, first you'd cry. My tongue has gone silent, no ears will have her. Instead I speak with another's word. The earth I had held within my hands. The brown turned red in a distant land. The time passes and the me I had known, the me I had owned, gives way to the me that I am now. In a perpetual bow. And yet, did I not already bow to you, O Lord? How much lower should I go? He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And what is in a name? This Christian power, this 3-in-1, from God to Son, the Son, a mighty prophet indeed, just not mine. I already have what I need in the divine. I miss your voice, Mother, your eyes, how wise you were, Mother. You knew the choice was never mine. Thanks for everything.
Incredible. The whole evening has been incredible. I feel like we could go on for hours with this and with different artists celebrating you. I mean, we haven't even ticked a few off the list, but before signing off, we'd like to thank our sponsors and everyone who joined us live this evening. Can you believe that already we have raised $154,195 and counting? Keep going. Don't forget that the online auction is now open and there are some amazing items there. So make sure you take a look and make sure you bid often. The auction will run through Sunday, June 6th at 10 p.m. Now, most importantly, I want to thank you, Nigel. Thank you so much for your incredible work, your dedication to the festival, and the way you have supported the performing arts community. You have left an indelible mark on arts in this country, and I can't wait to celebrate that enormous achievement with Spoleto's 45th season, which opens on Friday.
And you're coming back.
And I'm coming back, so we'll be down there soon. Cheers to you. Thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts, truly.
Well, thank you, and thank you, all these artists who've said these very moving things about me. And I must say, I've had tears in my eyes, and it's been kind of remarkable, but it's so wonderful to end with a piece that is going to actually premiere next year, that has not already happened, and that Omar will happen next year. And I think that's what Spoleto is about. It's about the future. It's not about the past. So, and the future is going to be terrific, I'm sure.
I can't wait. Powerful words. Cheers to you, and cheers to all of you at home. None of this would be possible without you and your support. Thanks again for being with us tonight, and I can't wait to see you and you in Charleston soon. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.